Good evening, everyone. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Aditya and Darshan and Ranjan and Alekhya and who else? Suraj and RPP and Anamika, Arya Jaiswal, Alekhya, Disha, Nausheen. Some familiar names, some unfamiliar ones. Acha, who is attending my class for the first time? Ha, Darshan. I don't know why there is such a small turnout today. Today there isn't any match also, है ना? I wonder. Acha, people are going to join in their own sweet time. No problem at all. Meanwhile, we can chit chat and just warm up a bit. Hi, good evening, Muskan and Yutika and Disha Basak and Isha, Farheen, Shoaib, all the familiar and unfamiliar names. Everybody is welcome to the session. I just asked who is attending my session for the very first time. How's the cold in your city? Good evening, good evening. Khushi Shah, what a pleasure always to see you there. Farheen, you are attending it for the first time. Okay, I'm honored. Thank you so much. Aditi Chobe, you too. Thank you so much for joining me live. Hi Shashank, good to see you there. Preeti Yadav, hi Stuti, hey. Stuti, oh, that's another Stuti who's a regular one. This Stuti is attending for the first time. Stuti 17. Thank you for joining me, Stuti. Kolkata, Sanjana, is always humid and, of course, warm. Ha, Shoaib. Good to see you. Tic tac cold. Okay. Ajal, hi. Devashi just finished all 5 types of dilemmas videos, the explainer videos. Very good. I'm so happy you did all of those. Sharanyak, for the first time. Yes, your name seems a little unfamiliar. I sincerely hope I live up to your expectations, guys. Everybody who's attending it for the first time. Don't be disappointed. Okay? I'm going to try my best. Shreya Pine, where do you live? Very cold, Aditi, where? Skill up with Geetika. The tips that you have given both in this, my mock scores have increased. I have gotten better at the concepts. Thank you so much for saying that. Today, just at the beginning of the session, you made my day. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So it's like I'm happy. Geetika, thank you again. Aditya, yes, I am from Bangalore, but right now I'm in Ranchi visiting my mother. Deepthi, hi, 26 orientation. So 26 orientation में ZAT वाले क्यों गए होंगे? The day was good, RPP. I had a very productive day. Did a lot of work, some content making and all. All right, everybody. Once again, welcome to the session, guys. Everybody, keep the enthu very high. Okay, the Josh. The Josh should be just soaring because we are going to do some productive things. VALR 3. So if you have missed VALR 1 and 2, you're requested to go back and check those sessions. DM is separate. Alright. So till now we have completed 3 DMs and this is the third VALR. Alright. What's the agenda for today? We have got 20 questions lined up. Okay. 20 PYQs. Today from 2021. Alright. Understand the corresponding techniques as well. So I was telling you we have completed 3 DMs. Tomorrow, that is, आज कौन सा date है? I think today is 12th or 11th. 12th है. So you've got this on 13th. 7 p.m. That is Saturday. Okay? Decision making 4. And VALR, we have already completed 2. Today is the 3rd one, as the title slide says. Right? This. Chalo. So, we are taking up from 2021 today. Okay? Some good questions. Shoaib, Karan, Grammar 150 is there on iQuanta dashboard. That's part of your Ometska course. DM strategy helped you, Disha Basak. Take some CR based questions for VALR. CR, in every VALR session, we are doing CR questions. CR means strengthen, weaken, assumption, inference, conclusion. 5 types. Let me write it down for you. Yesterday, I think somebody asked me and I missed replying to that query. Okay, so I'll just write it here. Hang in there. Okay. So, when we talk about CR as part of VALR, what do we get? Conclusions, inferences, strengthen the argument, weaken the argument, and assumptions. Yeah, that's it. XAT gives you these short para-based questions. It can ask you inferences with the help of a picture, as was there in XAT 2025. Or it can simply give you a paragraph. It can give you 2-3 people conversing and it can ask you inference. Okay, so be prepared for that. In case you see a picture, do not panic. ये तो हमें मैम ने पढ़ाया ही नहीं था. Picture से भी वो conclusion या inference ही पूछेंगे. Got it, everyone? So this is part of VALR. These come as stand-alone questions. All right. How many such questions can you expect? 5 to 6. All right. RCs, typically there are 5 RCs. Typically. It's not necessary that every RC will have 3 questions. Some have 2, some have 3. Okay. So across 5 RCs, you can have about 12 questions. 12 to 13 RC questions. Okay. Poem, you'll get 1. So in one poem, you can get 2 to 3 questions. You see this? Okay. So let's say this is 12 and this is 3, 15, 15 and 5, 20. Rest, what will you get? You will get grammar, 2 questions, fill in the blanks, 2 to 3 questions, and maybe something to do with vocab, like direct vocab. Fill in the blanks is also vocab, but something to do with direct vocab, maybe 2 questions. ये होता है. I hope, sorry, PJ. You get 2 to 3 PJ. This is what we generally and typically get in XAT. I hope this is clear. Right? Shoaib, in VALR, I have been giving you poems. And even if I give you like 50 to 60 poems, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, Shoaib. Because in just 50 to 60 poems, I cannot teach you how to interpret poems. All right. So 50-60 का तो वैसे भी टाइम नहीं बचा हुआ है. So I would suggest do not break your head too much over something that is insurmountable in these few days that are left. Poem में you will get 1 essence question and 1 what can be inferred from this sentence, or what can the author mean with these words. So these 2 typical questions will be there, Shoaib. My suggestion is not do both the questions. You can take 1 if you're not sure, because in poem it is very, very tricky. Okay? Shoaib, when I was a child, I used to have these poems as part of my syllabus, and even in school throughout we had these poem books, but I always hated poems. Because you know, these poets, crazy poets, they say something, they mean something else. And I believe in सीधी बात, no bakwas. Call a spade a spade. जो है तो उसको वो बोलो ना. वो एक चीज को चार तरीके से घुमा के बोलते हैं. भाई मुझे frustration हो जाता, तू सीधी बात क्यों नहीं करता? So you know, it's not my favorite also. Fine. I can teach it because I'm able to understand it with tons and tons of reading and everything. That's fine. But it's not going to give you too much of benefit. All right. Chalo. We are going to see all that, Darshan, what we do in inference questions, because today there are some inference questions. Chaliye. Let's get down to practice. Question number 1. This is grammar in simple language. All right. Tag question. Standalone questions आते हैं. Tag के भी, speech के भी, that's indirect direct speech, voice के भी. तीनों के आ सकते हैं. Got it? Yes, yes, Anvesha Roy, you're so right. Come on, give me the answer for this, guys. What should I save? Huh? 4, okay. Moreover, he plays well, isn't it? Wrong hai. Isn't he hona chahiye? Not at all, Ritu. Come on. If this is wrong, you guys are saying this is wrong. How will we correct it? He plays well. Yes, Anshraj, very good. Doesn't he? Correct. Now, I'll give you some points here. You can note these down maybe. Okay, Vedant, that's good. There's little point in doing anything about the match. Do you see here? Little. This is negative. A little is positive. Little is negative. Negative. Okay? So, if little is given here, there's little point in doing anything about the match. Your tag should be positive. Correct? So there's little point in doing anything about the match is there. Right? Had it been a here, okay? Had it been a, there's a little point in doing anything about the match isn't there. Do you get my point? So little है इसलिए यहाँ positive because little is negative. A little hota, we would have put here isn't there because then this is positive and this should be negative. Okay. He has few reasons for saying no to the match. Few is negative. A few is positive. So if this says he has few reasons for saying no to the match, the tag should be positive. Has he, right? Nobody has called for you, have they? If you have nobody, somebody, anybody, someone, no one in the main sentence, the tag will always be they. Always. Somebody called for you, didn't they? Nobody has called for you, have they? And this is negative, so this should be positive. Did you understand the point? Negative, positive, I explained, and I explained if there is nobody, somebody, anybody, anyone, someone here in the main sentence, this tag will always have they. It cannot be he or she or anything. जबकि grammar में nobody is always taken as singular. Like if you check my 150 grammar 150 course, it says nobody goes there. Somebody comes here every day. Right? So no one, someone is taken as singular. But if you put a tag here, it will always have they. Aryan, you have checked grammar 150. Thank you for saying that. Right? So I hope this point is clear. Moreover, he plays well, isn't he? He plays, right? It should be doesn't he. Okay. Then you like to play. Positive, tag should be negative. You like to play, don't you? Right? Clear? Everybody, all the points are clear or not? Confirm करो. अर्ची जैन, कैसा क्वेश्चन है ये, कैसा क्वेश्चन है? With just 15 days left for XAT, now you are like, how can I start VALR? I haven't started it for XAT. Next year दो यार XAT. कितना फिजूल सा क्वेश्चन है. 10 दिन और रुक करके स्टार्ट करो ना बेटा. Clear guys, all the points? चलो. Ranjan Rishu, 5th point. This, you like to play. This is positive, so tag will be don't you. He likes to play, doesn't he? She likes to go there, doesn't she? We like to do this, don't we? Alright? ये tags क्या होते हैं? These tags are those attachments ना end में. जो हम, we need that affirmation. आकाश तू सो रहा है ना? तू सो रहा है ना? ये जो है ना होता है ना, that is what a tag is. Got it? आकाश तू सो रहा है क्लास में, है ना? Got it? रंजन तू मजाक कर रहा है ना? अब अर्ची जैसे मेरे से पूछेगी, मैम आप मजाक कर रही हैं, है ना? ये सो है ना इज द टैग. राइट? ये देखो, एक राम प्रसाद फिलोसोफर है, सोक्रेटिस के रिलेटिव है. आकाश मेरी जिंदगी और अच्छी मजाक करती है, बहुत अच्छा मजाक है मेरी जिंदगी. चलिए, so this is D. Good. Come on, poem is here. Shoaib, roll up your sleeves. Sunidhi, that's a nice sentence. Although false, correct है grammatically. Shabana Ma'am teaches well, doesn't she? Good को हटा दो, well करो, तो और grammatically correct हो जाएगा. देवदत्ता, श्रेया, essence of the poem. अर्ची बोलो. अच्छा, you've completed LR, अर्ची, thank God. चलो, मेरी झुड़की थोड़ी कम हो गई. मैं समझी दोनों के दोनों VALR अभी कहाँ से करेगी ये. VA के लिए अर्ची just get started with 150 grammar, okay, and do the sessions that I have been doing on YouTube. VALR sessions. Okay, हाँ, चलो. Vacuities means blank. Best captures the essence of the poem. Okay. Sit, drink your coffee here. Your work can wait a while. अब शोएब देखो बेटा, अभी हम बात कर रहे थे ना, you were saying poem के classes चाहिए. शोएब, अगर मेरे जैसा कोई बंदा होगा, कैसे इंटरप्रेट करूंगी? ये देखो शोएब, आ यार कॉफी पी, जान दे, काम भाड़ में गया, काम करते करते हम जीते हैं मर जाते हैं, चल 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 कॉफी पीते हैं, चलना. ऐसा तो मतलब काम जाने दो, छोड़ो यार, पहले कॉफी पीते हैं, चाय पीते हैं, ये मेरी जिंदगी है, ये मैं इंटरप्रेट करूंगी. कोई बेचारा ढंग का बंदा होगा तो वो ऐसे इंटरप्रेट करेगा, sit drink your coffee here with me, we will brainstorm, we will do some productive work over a cup of coffee, we will do more work. Work can wait a while means 2-3 मिनट रुक जाओ, हम brainstorming करके then we can get back to work. ऐसा भी हो सकता है. You are 26 and still have some of life ahead. So 26, okay, still have some of life ahead. Relax. Don't rush the way people are rushing. अभी मैं सीरियसली इंटरप्रेट कर रही हूँ पोम को, ठीक है? कभी तुम समझो कि मैं अपने तरीके से कर रही हूँ, अपने सोते हुए जिंदगी या लेजी बम टाइप वाला, नहीं. proper interpretation दे रही हूँ. You're 26 and still have some of life ahead. All right. So do not rush. Do not chase too many things. You need to pause for a moment and see around you what life is. No need for wait. It's not necessary that if Shoaib and I sit together, we have to talk some intelligent things. We can simply sit and crack jokes. We can shoot the breeze. Shoot the breeze means chit chat, right? We can do some inane talks. That's okay. No need for wit. Just talk vacuities. Talk stupid stuff. It's okay. Over a cup of coffee. Let's sip coffee and think this way. What if we were a bird? What if suddenly one day Ambani decides to adopt me? And decides to give me all his legacy? So we can talk anything, that's okay. And I'll reciprocate in kind. ये रेसिप्रोकेट को अब देखो कैपिटल आर क्यों लिखा है, आई जस्ट कैन नॉट इमेजिन किसका नाम आ गया रेसिप्रोकेट ये, मे बी दिस इज अ मिस्टेक. एंड आई रेसिप्रोकेट इन काइंड. इन काइंड मीन्स आई एम नॉट काइंड, आई एम नॉट बेनेवलेंट, नो, मीन्स आई विल ऑल्सो टॉक similar stupid stuff with you. I will reciprocate, not with money, but in kind, or laugh at you instead. Okay, so I can even laugh at you. Let's just, take that moment lightly. The world is too opaque. Don't we all know that? You and us. I mean, you and me. The world is too opaque, too dense. We cannot see through people's minds. We cannot understand what is happening. Distressing and profound. Profound is deep. Distressing is पीड़ा देने वाला. है ना राम कुमार? अभी जैसे आपने बोला मेरी जिंदगी उससे बड़ी क्या है, कुछ पोएट्री या समथिंग. This 20 minutes rendezvous, all I'm asking you for is 20 minutes of your precious time. Sit with me, Shoaib, for 20 minutes. We have a rendezvous somewhere in the park. We'll sit in the sun. Okay? Let the breeze blow across our faces. We'll just look at something that is there in front of us. We will forget the world and we'll just chit chat. We'll talk what is there in our hearts. You can tell me whatever you regret in life. I'll tell you what I regret in life or what we want to do. So this 20 minutes rendezvous will make my day. I'll be happy to sit here in the sun with grackles all around. Okay? Even if you don't know the meaning of grackles, do you see here staring with beady eyes some kind of creature? Because they have got beady eyes. So those can't be potatoes. Potatoes have eyes, but they don't have beady eyes. Needles have eyes, but they don't have beady eyes. Beads, मोतियों की तरह. Right? So grackles कुछ भी है. सांप है, बिच्छू है, prawn है, मछली है, कुछ भी है. But it's a creature. कुत्ता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. Staring with beady eyes. So grackles actually is a bird. All right? All around. Staring with beady eyes and you 2 feet away. So they are there all around. Okay? And they are looking at us. That doesn't mean they have this habit of staring. No. The poet is trying to include these grackles in the line for something. And before that he says we are just going to sit and shoot the breeze. Right? So, staring with beady eyes and you 2 feet away. Let's eliminate now. You guys are going with 5. Okay. For your happiness, yes, I'll show you the answer. It is 5. But I'll just show you the elimination. Let's create our own meaning in life no matter what. I have said earlier, in XAT, process of elimination works wonders. So no matter what, I don't like the language. Okay. Let's eat, drink and be merry in the lap of nature. Okay, I'll keep this. Let's celebrate our existence, not our work. ये तो फिर मैं हो गई कि चलो चलो यार छोड़ो, छड़ काम को हटा सावन की घटा. Okay, so this is negative. No, he's not asking you to ignore your work or neglect your work. He's just asking you to take a little bit of break. हाँ, Kit Kat का, yeah, exactly, Sahil. Take a break. Take Kit Kat. Have Kit Kat. Let's be gibberish, not rational about life. Again, negative. He's definitely asking you to be maybe irrational for some time. Maybe, vacuities you can talk. But he doesn't say let's be gibberish. Gibberish is when somebody is when speaking something incoherently, blah 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 blah. God forbid, you know. So this is gibberish, something that people cannot understand, completely incoherent. Not rational about life. He is not asking you to be irrational about life. He is not saying, please don't be logical, please don't be irrational. I mean, don't be rational. Okay, so this has a negative connotation, this has a negative feel to it. Eliminated both. I'm left with this and this. Alright, guys, I hope you're getting this, how to eliminate. Let's enjoy a moment of peace in this busy life. How do I get this? Busy life, the world is too opaque. 20 minutes rendezvous will make my day. You know, just 26, just life ahead. Thoda sa in this busy life. Let's enjoy a moment of peace. So this is good. This is better than this, of course. Let's eat, drink, and be merry in the lap of nature. Option B is not giving you that hint of pausing, okay, in this busy life, in this chaotic life. Abba dabba jabba, that is again gibberish. राइट चलो रितु बाद में करेंगे मजा आ गया ना तुम लोग को जिबरिश मेरे मुंह से सुन के अच्छा चलो नेक्स्ट वन क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 यस अनिमेश पात्रा लेट्स डू इट गाइस हाँ संजोग I always said that verbal is much tougher than cat. चल अन्वेषा while we did this word in one of the earlier sessions while showing opposite have kaisa reach common sense startups cannot have expansive reach so it's limited or restricted reach or limited reach I'm sure you'll get this has to be opposite right while they have this reach since they introduce whatever products when while okay चलो ठीक है आंसर चेक कर लेते हैं B good now I'll explain quickly startups have limited reach this is a phrase limited reach you don't say restricted reach okay so this is good this dash they introduce dash products भाई कैसा products होगा इनका new products innovative products new products अरे तीनों अच्छे हैं correct okay now here since when क्यों होगा when means a point you know when they do this when Shabana Ma'am teaches us when Anvesha says this no this has to be since because है ना because they introduce new products innovative products they open up while they have limited reach they open up kaisa markets innovative markets new markets innovative markets cannot be innovative your ways can be innovative your products can be innovative markets have to be new markets so B is the best one right okay yes you cannot have innovative markets yes Aritro good point chalo next one please आ गया passage favorite आपका करो any answers Yes, Shrey, Som, Aryan, 3 or 5. People are confused. What does the author best mean when he says, Kaushik, in simple language, this is asking you for inference, right? Right, guys? Simple language, inference. Aditya says 3. Archie says 5. It is 5. Why? Let's take a look at this. And that has to do with the question of uncertainty and doubt. A scientist is never certain. I'm sure आपने पढ़ लिया ये. ठीक है? Now, he says here we must discuss each question within the uncertainties that are allowed. So what is this para talking about? He talks about uncertainty and doubt. He talks about how science is provisional. Means any theory that comes up in science is provisional. It's good till another theory comes and cancels it, right? Negates it. So he says a scientist is never certain. We all know that. We know that all our statements are approximate statements with different degrees of certainty. Okay, he's talking about science and scientists. That when a statement is made, the question is not whether it is true, but how likely it is to be this. Likely. What are the chances of it being true or false? We must discuss each question within the uncertainties that are allowed. So do not take your questions or your theories as absolute. Think whether they are likely to be true or false. Not absolute. True hai, false hai, no. Right? And as evidence grows, it increases the probability perhaps that some idea is right or decreases it. But a key point, it never makes absolutely certain one way or the other. अब ये क्या कह रहा है? We have found this important in order to progress. In order for civilizations to proceed and progress, we have to take this as provisional. We shouldn't take science as absolute. We absolutely must leave room for doubt. There should be doubt. There should be questioning. There should be cross-questioning. Or there is no progress and there is no learning. He is giving you extreme. No progress and no learning without the scope for doubts, without room for improvement. There is no learning without having to pose a question, right? So, if there is a theory, you can ask certain rational questions, right? And a question requires doubt. Doubt must be there. People search for certainty, but this is bad. The author says there is no certainty. People are terrified. How can you live and not know with surety that that is there, that this is this? It is not odd at all. You only think you know as a matter of fact. We think we know. And most of your actions are based on incomplete knowledge and you don't know, okay, purpose, all right. Last sentence is, it is possible to live and not know actually. JOMO, joy of missing out. नहीं पता है मुझे, कोई बात नहीं, फिर भी मेरी दुनिया तो चल रही है. These days I adopt this and I'm very happy, carefree. कोई नहीं, वो नहीं भी पता चला मुझे, it's okay. So, यहाँ पे पर वो नहीं बात कर रहा है. Here he is talking about doubt and uncertainty and he says, do not take anything to be absolute. Clear? Right, Anish and everybody else? What does the author best mean when he says we must discuss each question within the uncertainties that are allowed? He is not asking you for the crux of the passage. He is asking you the meaning of one sentence. Every question within the uncertainties, right, that are allowed means there are certain uncertainties that are there in the range. I come up with a question, okay, and then I have to be prepared for this, that this can be wrong, this can be right. So what is the range? Till what range are the uncertainties allowed? This is what he says. On the basis of this much knowledge, we are going to eliminate. The uncertainties are limited by the nature of the answers sought. Uncertainties are not limited. The knowledge that you have or the question that you have is limited by the nature of the uncertainties. That is how this sentence should be. The knowledge that you have is limited by the nature of uncertainties, right? Eliminated. There is a finite set of uncertainties for any question. How do you know this? ये बोला है जितना allowed है that are allowed. How do you know finite or infinite for any question? Moreover, any, I don't like this word. Maybe there is a finite set of uncertainties for some questions, not for all, right? So the elimination is because of this and finite, which is not exactly supported by the data given there. Okay, the question decides the amount of uncertainties that are allowed. No, where is it given that the question has so much of capability or it has agency or identity or it is able? So your question will decide kitna errors allowed hai, kitna errors nahi allowed hai. The question does not have as such any big value. Okay, so the question doesn't decide this. The uncertainty should be relevant to the question. I'm left with 4 and 5. Okay, should be relevant. Why? Because he spoke something about logic and rational and all. We must be prepared to accept errors in the answers. Now, between these two, go back to the sentence. The sentence simply says, discuss each question and there are uncertainties. So we must be prepared to accept errors. We want answers, but there are bound to be errors. We should accept them, that there are certain errors. Nothing is absolute. That is what he's saying. Okay. Animesh Patra, did you get it? Alright. Chalo, next question. Same passage, next question. Rishita, skepticism is when you doubt everything. Wow, in this the audience is divided. 1, 3, 4, 5. Are we done? Chalo. A. Number 1. Why? For the essence of the passage, I would read these 2 lines and these 2 lines again. Okay? Let's do it together. Question of uncertainty and doubt. A scientist is never certain, we all know that. Approximate statements, that when a statement, okay, likely to be. And here you only think and most of your actions, incomplete knowledge, don't know, okay. Great deal of other things. It is possible to live and not know. It's okay. Right. Reasonable skepticism. Skepticism is doubting things. When you doubt things, you are called a skeptic. Reasonable. It's not taking you to an extreme level. It's the characteristic of a scientific mind. He is talking about science, definitely. And he says there is no certainty. Okay. He says, search for certainty, this. There is no certainty. Ye bola hai, there is no progress. There is no learning. Correct? Yes, Shreya Som. Essence is same as main idea. So characteristic of a scientific mind. I definitely need science in my answer. Okay. So this. Never give a conclusive answer. Eliminated. Right. In this there is no science. Okay, in this there is no science. I'm left with only 1 and 2. The paragraph is not talking about only doubts. Doubts in science. Doubts of a scientific question or a scientific mind. So I'm left with 1 and 2. दो ही तो बच रहे. Right? Animesh, if you thought that it's talking that, that means your main idea power is weak. You need to improve that. Okay? I hope you understood how I eliminated Ashika. Only 2 options are left, Karan. 1 and 2. This is eliminated because of never, it has science. The other 2 don't have science. Main idea has to be specific according to what is being discussed. एक ही तो पैरा है, पूरे पैरा में science है. Okay, Ashika? Now, doubting the established world order is the purpose of science. क्या language देखो, क्या science जिंदा इसीलिए है? Raison d'être of science is to doubt everything. कैसा tone दे रहा है ये? कैसा language है ये? Had option 2 said, one of the things that science does or should do is to doubt established world order. ये कह रहा है doubting the established world order is the purpose of science. Science जिंदा इसीलिए है, सबको doubt करना है beginning to end तक, सबको खत्म करना है, सबको जला के राख कर दूंगा, सबको भस्म कर दूंगा, ऐसा types. नहीं है ना? This is much better. It's balanced in every way. Reasonable skepticism, doubts, 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 doubts. Skepticism. Reasonable, magical word. Characteristic of what? Scientific minds. यहाँ बोला है scientist is never certain. Clear? चलो. Move on. Another passage. 3 paragraphs or 4 paragraphs. You need to read. Go on, I'm giving you enough time to read. Akash, शुरू हो जाओ अभी तुम. Yes, Arithro, you're right. चल अनिमेश. मिल गया मुद्दा. Hi Shubhadeep, good to see you. Gender discrimination. It is not just about this. Done. He criticizes here. Whatever I can see, I'm passing on to you guys. Alright, Disha, Arshi, he criticizes. In this para, he mellows down. Subtle. He says, okay, but that's not life-threatening. Not like crashing in a car. Whose safety measures don't account for women's measurements. Not like having your heart attack go undiagnosed because your symptoms are deemed atypical. For these women, the consequences of living in a world can be deadly. Now, He's not mellowing down towards gender discrimination. No. He says these points are happening at your workplace. But these are not life threatening. What is life threatening is more gender discrimination that is happening in these places. Car. The measures are done according to men. Okay, and your heart attack undiagnosed because your symptoms are atypical, different. Why? Because the typical thing is for men, right? So he is saying that here in these areas, in these domains, the gender discrimination is lethal, right? One of the most important things is that it is not generally malicious or even deliberate. Acha, quite the opposite. It is simply, that's simply the product of a system that has been there for thousands of years, right? That has been around for millennia, kind of not thinking. We don't even think about it that this is wrong or this is happening. A double not thinking, okay, done. The last para. Somebody called Simone de Beauvoir. See this point? Amazing. Niranjan, these are PYQs. You can get them all over Google. Are we done? As computer scientists themselves say, garbage in, garbage out, jo daloge algo mein aap. This connects me with what? Big data, algo, AI. AI is also patriarchal, biased, because people who are patriarchal are feeding in the data. It is that. We did this in CAT. Hai na? Done. Khushi, Animesh, everyone. Achal. Move on to the questions. I think there are 3 questions. Absent presence. Specific inference. Go back to that zone. All right? Absent presence. एक बार देख लो चाहो तो options. Only one option gets eliminated easily, the other 4 are crazy. Which option gets eliminated? Yes, Ashish, it can be called an oxymoron. Aritro, which option gets eliminated? Oh yes, exactly. Chalo, I'll take you back to absent presence. पढ़ो अब आप. बोलो. Did you find absent presence? It is there, right? I'll take you to the options. Wait. पढ़ तो लो, सबको पढ़ लेने दो. चलो Give me some answers, please. Okay. Yes, it is 3. Why? I'll take you back there. How do we solve this question? We go back to that point, absent presence. I set my range like this and I'm going to read it. Our entire culture is riddled with them. Films, news, blah, blah, blah. About our past, present and future, they are all marked disfigured by this, absent presence. What is absent presence? This is the gender data gap, something that is missing. Okay, the gender data gap isn't just about silence. Okay, so what is it? They have consequences. Okay, they impact on women's lives every day, relatively minor, और ये examples हैं. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे जो बोला है ये, he says we notice it very clearly. There is nothing but silence. All these and these silences are everywhere. Okay? They are all marked disfigured, absent presence, and this is present everywhere. Okay? And we know that it is absent. So, just on that basis, how can we eliminate? पहले तो ये eliminated था सबसे पहले, literal meaning. Female shaped, making it present, वो बकवास है. Literal meanings are not taken. Then, next I'll eliminate this. Because of the absence, one can recognize its presence. वो absent है. इसीलिए हम देख रहे हैं. ये अगर वो absent नहीं होता, तो भी हम देखते ना present है. So this is just word play. Because of its absence, because of the absence, है नहीं, तभी हम देख पा रहे हैं कि वो present है. How can you recognize its presence? Don't you think this is a better word? Felt. You can feel the absence or you can feel the presence, right? So I like this word. I eliminate this. Okay? Then, by its sheer absence, I like this. I'll keep it. सब जगह absent है. Okay, and this one, the absence makes the case for the need for presence. Rubbish. Means ये क्या कह रहा है? The absence, नहीं है वो मौजूद, makes the case. Absence forces you to understand the presence, or the absence exhorts you, persuades you to see the presence. I don't like the language here. Makes the case, eliminated. Right? Yes, Sunidhi, exactly. That is what they are saying. Yes. So between these two, this one has better words because it is felt. Specificity, why? Specificity because, it's like it is there everywhere, and we know that there is a female wala thing that's a lacuna. Okay? That's why we can feel it. So by its sheer absence, it is present. Just because it is absent everywhere, we know that it's present. Again, language ka thoda sa tod matod. So this one has the best words, and I'm highlighting the words for you. Felt, specificity. Okay. So ये दोनों words के basis पे we know this is the best one. Although this was very tricky. Okay. Only option 4 could be eliminated easily, and the others were like all in the race. थोड़ा सा भी इधर उधर, it was like walking on a tight rope. थोड़ा सा भी इधर उधर and you would have got it wrong. Okay? चलो, next. Sunidhi, come on. Don't rush. Okay? You need to go back and check double not thinking. Back. Sheer means बहुत ज़्यादा. Double not thinking Locate it first. Read this range. You see there's a colon here, Sunidhi, Preeti. That means he's explaining double not thinking over here. Right? Men go without saying. उनके लिए तो है ही नहीं, एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता है ना. And women don't get said at all. All right. चलो. Come on, Arithro. ये अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. Process of elimination. Come on. Yeah? Good. You know, I was left with which ones? This and not this. Ye. Yeah. The others are vague. I'll tell you why. Men over millennia always confused human with being only male. वहां पे बात की क्या बोला है इसने? He has said men go without saying. Men don't say. For them, women don't exist. And women don't get said at all. Don't get said means they don't get mentioned. Right? It's not that they are not saying. They don't get mentioned. Men do not mention, and these women don't get mentioned. It doesn't mean women are accepting their fate. So acceptance is wrong. Men not thinking and women not being allowed to think again due to double not thinking, wrong. Wrong cause effect. The paragraph says, Arithro, this is happening, this is happening. This is what we call double not thinking. It does not mean double not thinking is causing men not to think and women not to think. You got it? So these two were very easily eliminated. Men over millennia always confused humans with being only male. It is given there, but then this is not what they talk about, what they mean by double not thinking. So I was left with 1 and 5. I hope the elimination is clear. I hope you understood this wrong cause effect, because such options are there and this helps you eliminate easily. Right? Okay. So between these two, humans are mentioned. It is men. Women are not said. That is what he says there. So this is good. Okay, Sunidhi, why not 5? Over millennia, men and women have been conditioned to treat women as unequal. Women don't treat, according to the passage, women don't treat women as unequal. जबकि reality यही है that in patriarchal societies, it's not so much the fault of men as that of women. Because women perpetuate these things. They support their sons and husbands and all, and they support patriarchy. They perpetuate it. This is what I firmly believe. Is it clear, guys? ठीक है? चलो. The last question of this passage. concluded, right? Overall, connect it with the main idea. Nice elimination. Hmm. Hmm. 3 eliminated, yes, Shoaib. Good. Okay. 4. It is B. This. My first elimination was 3. The need of the hour is to revisit the past and reduce the gender gap at the earliest. Yes, Shoaib, big data ka hi tha. Conclusion means you have to connect it with main idea, guys. Okay? Now, the gender data gap is amplified by data-based decision making. Data-based only decision making, data-based decision making, but these two options have data-based decision making and I like them because this is exactly what the author comes down to. He funnels it down to this point. He talks about gender gap, the patriarchy and everything inherent in our societies, and then he comes down to this para and he talks about what? This is not a new observation. Something and then he comes, what is new? Oh, ye naya nahi hai. Beta, what is new is context in which women continue to be the other. Context. That context reliant on data, big data, da. So this is the main point that is trying to drive home. Right? So we come to this now. Here. I like both these. Data-based. I'll keep these. 3 was eliminated. It was stupid. Women have never been treated as distinct identities, which causes the gender data gap. I don't like this language. He says for centuries, for millennia, yes, millennium, ya jo kuch bhi, never been treated as distinct identities. This is right according to the passage, but not main idea. ये हल्का हो गया. Gender data gap, but he is connecting it to big data. He is connecting it to database decision making, right? So ये थोड़ा हल्का है. Over millennia, men ignored women, which resulted in the gender data gap and deadly consequences. It's not exactly deadly because he says here, it's like not generally malicious or even deliberate. ये तो चलता है, ये तो system है, it's part of it, part of life. Okay, so deadly consequences as such nahi hai, so I can eliminate it. ठीक है, so 4 eliminated, 5 eliminated, 3 eliminated. For me, it's between 1 and 2. Good, Anvesha, 1 and 4. That's nice. So there is nothing wrong with 4. Okay, never been treated. I don't like this language, but millennia bola hai. Millennia, ठीक है, we can connect it with never. मान लेती हूँ मैं. But ये मजा नहीं आ रहा है. इसमें वो बात नहीं आ रही है. The gender data gap is amplified by data-based decision making. Emphasis on this can be devastating to women, not deadly, devastating, given the gender data gap. Now, why 2? I'll explain this. सुनना है तो सुन लो. Gender data gap is there. It has been there for like many years. Got it? And this, on the basis of this is happening. Emphasis on data-based decision making is happening. Okay? What is it bolstered by? It is bolstered by gender data gap. It's there. The gender data gap has been present forever. It can be devastating to women, right? That is the significance. ये बोला है यहाँ पे. ये देखो. increasingly reliant and enthralled to data, big data. That context is reliant to this, right? Which is this, using computers, data is corrupted by big silences. The truths you get are half truths. So the decisions that you make are not good decisions at best, and often for women, they aren't true at all. Got it? Is it clear, everyone? Why 2 is your answer? B. You had to connect it with main idea. Conclusion means overall. Overall means sabse pehle, Arithro and Preeti. I would go to the last para and I would take it from there because he's specifically asking you for conclusion. Yeah? So this is good. Very justified. चलो आ गया आपका ग्रामर थोड़ा हल्का अरे फिर 4 यहाँ कैसे आ गया यार Now, you know what catches my eye here? There are 2 sentences, 3 and 4. Okay? कुछ तो लोचा होगा यहाँ पर. The books were distributed between Jessica, Neha and Swati. Distributed. These points are there in Grammar 150. The books were distributed among Jessica and Neha. Confused? Leave it. Life teaches us important lessons. What is wrong with this? Life, general life. The life that I'm living, the life that you are living, that will be the life. Life, general. Zindagi. Na 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 na. Right? So Zindagi teaches us important lessons. This is good. This is correct. I need 5 in my answer. This is the easiest one. 5. 5. Right? अभी ऐसा देख के मुझे लग रहा है. Okay? The life moves forward, teaches backward. ये the life moves forward, कौन सी life? किसकी life? So ये मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि wrong हो सकता है. The life. Which life? According to me, I have taught you this point many times. This says, according to me, this says, in my opinion. There are 2 similar sentences, 3 and 4 similar sentences. Very good, Shoaib. So, in my opinion is correct. I need 1 in my answer. Correct? दोनों में 1 है. If in my opinion is correct, according to me नहीं हो सकता correct ना. So, this is wrong. Yeah? A. 135. I'll explain, don't worry. This is very justified as the answer. Hang in there. Hear me out. लगे हाथों आपको 5-6 grammar points मिल जाएंगे. So when you do grammar 150, it will be good revision. Okay? Just hear me out on this. In my opinion, it's never according to me. Wrong English. Alright? Tom Jones is a picaresque novel. What is the meaning of picaresque? Picaresque novel is, dealing with rogues, dealing with badmash. So it's a novel on the life of somebody who has bad history, somebody who is used to shenanigans. Okay? So picaresque novel ऐसी होती है. According to me is wrong. Tom Jones is a Bildungsroman. यार Bildungsroman. Bildungsroman is Tom Jones. Tom Jones ये है novel का नाम है. Tom Jones is a novel that talks about somebody's early years of life, बचपन उसका, growing, formative years of life. So Tom Jones, the novel is being discussed. It's a picaresque novel and it's a Bildungsroman. All right. So in my opinion is correct, according to me is wrong. Okay. The books were distributed between this. The books were distributed among Jessica and Neha. Now I'll give you the point. Two people, right? Between. Many, more than two, among. This is what we generally know. Correct? But what happens here? There is a finer grammar point that says if you know the names of the people, I mean if these people are specific, you can use between. समझ में आई मेरी बात? So if you know the names of the people and you are distributing something, you cannot use among. You have to say between. Why? Because these are specific names. ये base rule है. But this is an exception to that base rule. Please understand my point. Had the names not been given, the books were distributed between the 10 students. Wrong. The books were distributed among the 10 students. Do you get my point? Names nahi hai. Yeah? Here the names are given. Distribute ही हो रहा है, but names are given. The books were distributed between लगेगा. Okay? This is correct. And you cannot use among then if you know the names. Right? ये तो वैसे भी wrong है. दो लोग हैं ना, Jessica और Neha. How can you use among? है ना? So 1, 3, 4, 1, 4, कुछ नहीं. Okay? Life teaches us important lessons. This is correct. कोई लोचा है ही नहीं उसमें. The life moves forward, teaches backward. I told you, किसकी life? The life that Pi lives moves forward and it teaches backward. तब होता ना the life. The life that you and I live every day. तब होता. So this is wrong. Clear? So it is 135. Got it? Chalo. Next. Concluded. Concluded is a kind of inference, so be careful. तो अनिमेश अगर याद नहीं रहेंगे ग्रामर के रूल्स तो उसमें मैं क्या करूं? तुम मेरे को ये बता दो. कोई झंडू च्यवनप्राश बना के भेजूं, कोई आबे जमजम में मिला के भेजूं, रूह अफ़ज़ा में जला के उसका पेपर फूंक के भेजूं, क्या करूं मैं? ये तो आपको पहले सोचना चाहिए था ना कि जैट देना है तो लास्ट के 10 दिन में मैं ग्रामर के रूल्स याद करूंगा. तो कैसे? मत दो जैट, या ग्रामर के 2 क्वेश्चंस मत करना. चलो ये वाला करो. हाँ, स्किप कर सकते हो वो, तुम बिल्कुल कर सकते हो. लेकिन अनिमेश, दोनों क्वेश्चंस जो ग्रामर के आएंगे ना, उसमें 5-5, 6-6 पॉइंट्स होते हैं. उसमें आसान वाले पॉइंट्स पिक कर लो, यू विल बी एबल टू डू इट. चलो. अनफेटर्ड कंपटीशन, कोई रोक नहीं सकता है. अनचेन्ड, इट्स अ डॉग ईट डॉग, नो होल्ड्स बार्ड, डे इन एंड डे आउट स्ट्रगल. राइट? What's your answer? Okay, it is E. All of you got it wrong. Yashi got 5. This. सुनना है क्यों? सुन लो. Do it with me. क्लैरिटी मिल जाएगी। ठीक है प्रीति? We can think of the history of life on earth as a vast long-term experiment in pure competition. Theory of natural selection, वो क्या है? Competition ही है, right? Species fighting, many species become extinct, the survival of the fittest, pure competition. Every living organism is competing with all other living organisms for resources, right? ठीक है? So they are all competing with all other living organisms for resources. वही चीज, survival of the fittest. Nature or the natural world is a lab of unfettered competition. Same चीज. It's a dog eat dog, no holds barred, day in day out struggle. इससे ज्यादा एक्सट्रीम क्या होगा सुनिधि? ये देख रही हो? Unfettered competition, brutal. कुत्ता कुत्ता मारो खाओ. No holds barred. डे इन नो होल्ड्स बार्ड, और क्या होता है? दिस इज एक्सट्रीम. कोई चीज पे रुकना नहीं है, मार दो, गोली मार दो, उड़ा दो मिर्जापुर की तरह, बिकॉज यू हैव टू सर्वाइव. ओके, देयर आर नो गवर्नमेंटल रेगुलेटर्स टू प्रोटेक्ट द वीक और फेवर द स्ट्रॉन्ग. सब कंपीट कर रहे हैं. ऑल ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर गिवन अ चांस. जैसे वो था आपका द व्हाइट टाइगर, गरीब बंदा था, गरीबी से उठ करके अमीर बन गया. ही न्यू द वे, ही न्यू हाउ टू फाइट. एक और आपका था, वो क्या था? स्लम डॉग मिलियनेयर. ही न्यू हाउ टू फाइट. दिस इज व्हाट ही इज सेइंग. ऑल ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर गिवन अ चांस बट नॉट नेसेसरली एन इक्वल चांस. जरूरी नहीं है, वो आपको अपना अपना चांस बनाना पड़ता है. यू हैव टू फाइंड योर वे इन दिस वर्ल्ड. एज द क्लाइमेट एंड द एनवायरनमेंट चेंज, एंड चेंज दे डू, ये दोनों चेंज करते हैं. सम ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर फेवर्ड ओवर अदर्स एट टाइम्स, हमेशा नहीं. But these advantages are fleeting. अरे ये advantages temporary होते हैं. It's not because of these advantages that some are rich and some are poor. ये तो कभी कभी आते हैं थोड़े बहुत. What nature gives, nature can take away. So you're talking about survival of the fittest, right? Without unforgiving competition, the planet will be inundated with the weak. अब ये बोल रहा है there is competition. Do not infer क्या होता अगर ऐसा होता तो. कंपटीशन नहीं होता तो क्या होता? धुरंधर मूवी चलती या नहीं चलती, ये मत सोचो आप. क्या नहीं होता तो, जो दिया है उसके साथ चलो. दैट इज अ रॉन्ग वे टू इन्फर. ठीक है? विदाउट अनफॉरगिविंग कंपटीशन, प्लैनेट विल बी फ्लडेड विद द वीक. ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोला कि अगर नहीं होता तो क्या होता. आउट. सबसे पहला ये जाएगा. Nature gives a fair opportunity to every organism to survive. Is this the conclusion? यार नेचर गिव सबको ना एक फेयर अपॉर्चुनिटी देती है. यार अपॉर्चुनिटी की बात नहीं चल रही है. बात इसकी चल रही है, तेरे में दम है, जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस, जिसमें जितना दम वो टिकेगा, उसकी बात चल रही है. सो ये क्या, इवन दो दिस इज करेक्ट, ठीक है, गिव्स अ फेयर अपॉर्चुनिटी, इट्स अ फ्लीटिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी, ठीक है, बट देती इस, ठीक है, अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल जाता है, बट दिस इज नॉट द कंक्लूजन. यस, एग्जैक्टली अनिमेश. कंपटीशन इज क्रिटिकल टू एंश्योर द सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट. ओके, रख लेते हैं, कंफ्यूज हूं इसमें मैं. फॉरगिवनेस इज एलियन, ये तो सबसे बकवास है. फॉरगिवनेस, दिस इज नॉट द मेन पॉइंट. Between 3 and 5. Brutal competition is the only constant in the natural world. Now you must have thought, ye only to na, this is extreme. Right? यहाँ बोला तो है, with all other living organisms for this is a lab of this, ये चलता रहता है. Pure competition, the mudda is competition. How can you get your answer without competition? So 3 or 5, competition. Right? And then he says all organisms are given a chance. Change they do change, right? सब कुछ change हो रहा है. Some organisms are favored, but these are fleeting. What nature gives, nature takes away. So you are basically talking about things changing, but then competition stays. And what type of competition? Brutal. दिमाग में आया this is extreme, verify करो. This. Unfettered, this. That is brutal competition. Why not 3? Competition is critical to ensure the survival of the fittest. ये क्या कह रहा है पैराग्राफ में, ध्यान से सुनना. Competition is there, okay? Because of competition, some survive, some do not survive, some get a chance, some do not get a chance, but competition continues. यहाँ कह रहा है competition is critical to ensure the survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest कोई और वजह से भी जी सकता है. It can also survive because of maybe because the others don't have those capabilities. It can survive because of that. But you are saying competition is critical to ensure the progress of the world, or to ensure, ये नहीं कह रहे हो आप, वो होना चाहिए था ना. आप कह रहे हो this is critical to ensure the survival of the fittest. सबसे तंदुरुस्त वाला, सबसे तगड़ा वाला रहेगा, उसके लिए competition चाहिए. No. The sentence should be survival of the fittest survives after a lot of competition. Or survival of the fittest is the routine of the world, is the way the world works. This is what it should have read. This is wrong. Word play जिसको कहते हैं, and this is good. Right? Okay. Chalo, next one. This is summarized. Very easy one. Mores मतलब rituals, प्रथा. पता है ये मुद्दा क्या बोल रहा है? Something that we have read in CAT days. Stories are chosen, satisfy the narrowest of audiences, people who have control, the media moguls. बहुत क्यूट है ये. Come on. I will eliminate. चले? Okay. Good. इसमें पता मैजिकल क्या था? Cave into the narratives. ये न्यूज़पेपर्स झुक गए हैं उन लोगों के सामने, people who have control. So newspapers have caved in to the narratives of who? Have newspapers cave in to, अलग-अलग words है ये. Cave in to the narratives shared on social media platforms because these narratives control. You got it? ठीक है? So यहाँ बोला क्या है? Twitter is not on the masthead of a newspaper. But Twitter has become its ultimate editor, as the ethics and mores of that platform have become those of the paper. ये ethics and mores of that platform, Twitter is what? Social media. Correct? But Twitter has become its ultimate editor. किसका? Newspaper का ultimate editor. As the ethics and mores of that platform have become those of the paper. ट्विटर का एथिक्स एंड मोर्स को लेके पेपर ने अपना बना लिया. तुम ही मेरी मंदिर, तुम ही मेरी पूजा. The paper itself has increasingly become a kind of performance space. जो तू बोलेगा मैं वही करूंगा. Stories are chosen, told in a way, satisfy the narrowest. Shouldn't it cater to a broad audience? So it caters to the narrowest rather than to allow a curious public to read, draw their own conclusions. Critical thinking curbed, right? So how do we eliminate here? Newspapers are ready to compromise with their ethics. Only ethics, incomplete. There's nothing wrong with this Anvesha and Arithro and everybody. Okay, Animesh. Correct hai? But incomplete. Only ethics nahi. मोर देन दैट, उनकी कहानी उनके हिसाब से चल रही है, मीडिया मोगल्स के हिसाब से। न्यूज़पेपर्स फियर टू स्पीक आउटसाइड द नैरो कन्फाइंस ऑफ सोशल मीडिया, ये रख लेते हैं। Newspapers get influenced by the followers. No way, they are not getting influenced by followers. Newspapers create their own narratives. भाई अगर own narratives कर लेते तो बात ही क्या थी? They give out the narratives of the people who control, the puppeteers, जिनके हाथ में डोरी होती है ना? So it's between 2 and 5. Between 2 and 5 देखो कौन सा है? Newspapers cave in whom? To the narratives. कहाँ? Shared on social media platforms. Right? Fear to speak outside. Narratives word is important. उनके हिसाब से कहानी बन रही है. Right? So this is much better. Clear? चलो next. Again a grammar question. Incorrect usage. आर्टिकल्स पे ध्यान देना बाबा। सबसे इजी गलत वाला कौन सा है शोएब? ये तो किसी को भी दिख रहा होगा। वॉच अ टीवी, क्या तुम 3-4 टीवी देखते हो? दैट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट वॉचिंग अ टीवी, है ना? ये सबसे गलत है, रॉन्ग। 6 होना चाहिए, इनकरेक्ट मांगा है ना? दिस अग्री विथ मी? यस शोएब, आई एम कमिंग टू दैट। ऑल राइट, सो आंसर इज ए। Why? I'll explain all the points to you. लगे हाथों कुछ points फटाफट याद हो जाएंगे, ठीक है? अनामिका, आयुष साहा, hear me out. We are going to a restaurant, but we haven't decided which one. We are going to the restaurant. तब तो decided होगा ना? द लगाते तो पता है हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं. So this is correct. We are going to a restaurant today to eat. That we haven't decided. Correct. We went to the toilet behind a tree. भाई इसमें तो I'm a little confused. We went to a toilet behind a tree भी correct होता है. ठीक है, we went to a toilet behind a tree. There were many trees. Okay, we went to a toilet. कहाँ गए थे तुम? We went to a toilet. You can say we went to the toilet behind a tree. वो भी बोल सकते हैं, दोनों correct है. So I'm a little confused. छोड़ दूंगी उसको फिलहाल. It was the November after we went to Indonesia. Right? It was the November. कौन सा नवंबर था वो? अरे कौन से नवंबर की बात कर रहे हो तुम? लास्ट ईयर या 2 साल पहले या 4 साल पहले? अरे ये वो वाला नवंबर था हम जब इंडोनेशिया से लौटे थे. So this is correct. My friend is traveling to UK. The UK, the UK, the US, the UAE, the Philippines, the Communist Republic of China, People's Republic of China. तो जहां भी आपका ये इस तरह होता है ना, like you have United or Emirates or Union आपका नाम में, you have to put the. So the UK. She drinks medicine by a liter. No. She drinks medicine by the liter. She drinks Coke by the liter. He eats red meat by the kg. Okay? बहुत बहुत खाता है, बहुत बहुत पीती है. ये कहने का तरीका होता है, you put the liter, the kg, the ounce, the pound, ऐसे. ठीक है? तो यहाँ the आना चाहिए. Would you rather go out or watch a TV? क्यों लगा रहे हो भाई? Would you rather go out or watch TV? Done? So on that basis 4, 5, 6. अभी ये जो है we went to the toilet behind a tree, correct है वो. कौन सा टॉयलेट? अरे वो वाला टॉयलेट जो एक पेड़ के पीछे है. चलेगा. No, Anvisha, by the pound. He eats butter by the pound. Yeah? चलो, cool, done. पेड़ के पीछे कौन सा टॉयलेट बना था वैसे मैं ये सोच रही हूँ. Obviously open air टॉयलेट में ही गया होगा ना. All right, next. Let's do this. कितना बड़ा एक बार देख लें, 3 पैराज. क्वेश्चन है यहाँ, connected straight to main idea. खुशी, homo sapiens means man. Done? लास्ट पैरा पढ़ लो, फिर आगे बढ़े. Done? Okay. So what is he talking here? He is talking about the importance of numbers for our ancestors before they became Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens हमारी species है ना, आदमी जिसमें है. So competence for our ancestors before this, that's a direct question connected with main idea. Why would animals crunch numbers in the first place? So before we became man, or like yeah, before we became humans, why did animals use numbers? Then he says processing numbers offers a significant benefit, ऐसा लगता है, तभी तो animal populations में present है. Now obviously after this he is going to speak about which animals crunch numbers, right? Several studies examining animals in the ecological environments. So he is going to study animals now. और वो कैसे numbers use करते हैं. Representing number enhances its ability to exploit food sources. Ye. Right? Hunt, prey, something. Before numerically competent animals evolved, single-celled, microscopic, the oldest living, already exploited. ये देख रहे हो? Such an interesting and easy to understand passage. Before numerically competent animals came, single-celled bacteria. ये तो स्कूल में पढ़ा हमने. But ये नहीं पढ़ा था that they used quantitative info. The way bacteria make a living is through their consumption from their environment. Mostly they grow and divide, multiply. Okay, इसको मैं थोड़ा सा skim करूंगी, बैक्टीरिया से related. Question होगा, आ जाएंगे. However, recent years they have discovered they also have a social life. Sense ये blah, they can sense number of bacteria. कितने हैं उसके चारों तरफ? कितने आदमी थे? Take for example the marine bacteria. अब ये है Vibrio fischeri. That is bacteria का type. It has a special property produce. अब ये अगर आप नहीं भी पढ़ो ना तो चलेगा. Why? Because this is giving you an example of this, that bacteria use numbers. They discern numbers. Bacteria dilute okay alone when they are together. Right? Now, the last para. Somehow they have to communicate cell number. And it turns out they do this thing using a chemical language. Bacteria. They secrete communication molecules, concentration increases in proportion to the cell number. And when this molecule hits a certain amount, ये क्या करते हैं? These molecules increases. Number of molecules increases. When it hits a certain amount, called what? A quorum. Quorum क्या होता है? एक minimum number needed for something. Generally वो होता है ना quorum का meaning. It tells the other bacteria how many neighbors there are and all bacteria glow. एक certain number reach. जैसे ही ये नंबर पहुंच गया सब में बत्तियां जल जाती हैं. They glow. This behavior is called quorum sensing. The bacteria vote with signaling molecules. Vote gets counted. Okay. क्यों दे रहा है बैक्टीरिया का counting? And voting. Probably connecting it with humans. Signaling molecules, vote gets counted, certain threshold, quorum, certain level is reached, every bacterium responds. This behavior is not just an anomaly. All bacteria use this sort of quorum, sensing to communicate their cell number in an indirect way via this. दिमाग में बार बार आ रहा है. Doesn't this remind us of democracy? कोई तो पक्का क्वेश्चन होगा उससे कनेक्टेड. चलो, cannot be inferred पूछा है. Come on guys. ये क्वेश्चन 30 सेकेंड्स का भी नहीं है. अमनदीप, प्रीति, यू आर राइट. यस, ये दिख रहा है. सोली भाई, POE और किस दिन के लिए बचा के रखा है आपने? ना इसको आप जाके वेरीफाई कर सकते हो ना. रिसोर्सेज इन ग्रुप्स, न्यूमेरिकल. अच्छा, ये दोनों तो ट्रू है. यही तो बात कर रहा है. Ancestors use numerical competence and sense numbers. Hunted in groups, exploited resources in groups. देख लो आप चल के. Crunch numbers, processing significant benefit for survival. Many animal populations. What was the benefit? And then like यहाँ पे जा करके hunt prey यहाँ है. Ability to exploit food sources, hunt prey, social interactions before numerically competent. Okay, oldest living. Right. So those are still okay. Those can be inferred. But why is he saying solely using numbers? They interacted only with numbers. क्या वो मैथ्स के टीचर्स थे? नहीं, right? So this is your answer. Next one. तो ये कितना आसान था. Quorum sensing, inference. दो ऑप्शंस बच रहे हैं मेरे. You can go back and check quorum sensing. I think even this is a very doable question. बोलो. Shinjini, Arav. Yes, Sunidhi, take a look. Go back. Super proud of you guys, yeah. This is so nice. You handled it so well. I was left with 1 and 5. Bacteria communicate only in numerical terms with others. यहाँ क्या बोला है? इसने बोला है clearly, they secrete communication molecules and the concentration of these molecules increases. Molecules का ये increases in proportion to the cell number. Right? So ये अगर बढ़ा तो ये बढ़ेगा. फिर ये थोड़ा और बढ़ा तो ये थोड़ा और बढ़ेगा. In proportion to the cell number. And when this molecule hits a certain amount, it tells da 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 da. They secrete communication modules. That doesn't mean हमें नहीं पता वहां से. They communicate only in numerical terms. Cannot say. Eliminated. Bacteria do not communicate beyond certain numbers. यार beyond a certain number वो चुप हो जाते हैं कि communicate करते हैं क्या करते हैं we don't know. But we know that when it reaches a certain number they tell everybody. Everybody gets to know. हो गया हो गया हो गया हो गया हो गया. Glow. उसके बाद communication बंद हो जाता है या नहीं होता है? Cannot say. Right? So this do not communicate beyond this. Cannot say. Bacteria chat only when they are in groups. They hunt, ये वो बोला है. They chat only when they are in groups, cannot say. So they respond when they discern, respond. सबको पता चल गया एक level. Enough numbers, a threshold, that is quorum. Threshold. Done? This was a great question. दोनों questions solid इसके. चलो, third one. After this we will pack up. बाकी के 5 next में spill over. Yes, this is an application question. How nicely you identified it. The passage says, when you reach a certain number, everybody gets to know. Divided on this, B. Why? Gaurav and Khushi and Yashi and Yashika, Anvisha, why B? You got it, Darshan? Wow. I'll explain this, Sunidhi. You got 3. Piyush, okay. Which of the following statements is not based on what is given in the passage? Okay. So, the passage says you take numbers, right? सबसे पहला, rally with numbers to woo their undecided voters. True. This is based on that. They play with numbers. है ना? Undecided voters. Politicians can say, oh, we have reached a certain level. Okay, the last 50 are left. Or like, we need just some more. Something. So, जो undecided है, सोचते हैं, हाँ, अच्छा, इनका तो बहुत अच्छा चल रहा, चलो इन्हीं को दे देते हैं वोट. So, they are rallying with numbers. This is good. Then, teams fear a red card as it would present an advantage for the opponents. Teams, red card. Red card क्या होता है? When you make a penalty, right? So they fear a red card as it would present an advantage for the opponents. How? Yes, Aritro? Yeah. So, this advantage for the opponents, it will give them an extra point. Okay. Numbers. Yeah. You get it? Advantage based on numbers. This is what the passage said. Advantage based on numbers. यही तो बोला है. You pray using numbers, you socialize, you mix, you eat, you jump, numbers. Yes. So red card हमको मिला, सुनिधि, opponents को advantage मिल गया. And once my team collects a certain number of red cards, they get more advantage. है ना? ये है. So this is also true. सबसे पहले ये दोनों out. Yeah? Now, to de-escalate a border tension, countries carry out mirror deployment. How? They play with numbers. How? De-escalate a border tension. What is mirror deployment? Let's say you have got 10 soldiers in your army. You put 10 more dummies. You get it? You're playing with numbers to gain advantage. That is called mirror deployment. So this is definitely true because it gives you an advantage based on numbers. I'm left with 1 and 2. All right? People protest in large numbers because it helps them get their voices heard. They try to take advantage based on numbers. They think if we all go as a team, if we go as like 20 to 30 people compared to 1, our voices may be heard. So we will get advantage based on numbers. It helps them survive. Helps survive. I hope this is clear. Helps survive. What helps survive? Use of numbers. Helps politicians survive. Red card, opposite team, survival. Why not B? Yeah? No one can whistle a symphony. Symphony is what? Symphony is a tune, a complete tune. है ना? The entire range music का. It takes a whole orchestra to play it. So, here you are not striving to survive or get advantage. That was the key point. You gain an advantage because of numbers. That was the similarity among all of these. Okay? So, if you talk about gaining advantage, you're not gaining an advantage because of an orchestra. You need the whole orchestra to make a symphony. Without this orchestra, symphony तो बनेगी ही नहीं. So it's nothing that is giving you an advantage. That is mandatory. That is required for you to call it a symphony. Do you get my point? You don't get advantage. Yes, Nishant. That is the reason behind this answer. मेरी ये समझ में आया है. अगर आपको कुछ और लगता है यहाँ तो you can let me know. All right, we are done with this. Concluded. ये बाकी बाद में करेंगे. We call it a night here. Okay. Today, of all the 15 questions, this was my favorite. It was a very challenging one. Something which kind of gave you that critical thinking wala angle. Yes, Preeti. I hope my explanations are clear, guys. That is what was needed in this session. Just let me know if everything was clear. Arithro, this was 2021, I think. Oh, by the way, 2024 and 2025. VALR. I have given recordings and those must be there on the dashboard. You can check these out if you want the explanation to any particular question from these 2 years. बाकी के सालों का भी मैं सबमिट करूंगी, लेकिन बाकी के, as you remember, we have been doing in our VALR sessions, है ना, 18, 19, 20 हमने पिछले 2-3 सेशंस में किया है, 2 सेशंस में. टुडे वी टुक अप 21. ठीक है, तो ये तो फिर भी करते चले जा रहे हैं. ये पूरा वीडियो सबमिटेड है. हाँ महेश, क्या हो गया? Except 2, other 4 talk like number. Yes, very good way of thinking. Numbers की बात कर रहे हैं ना. Preeti, understood. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for appreciating the class. Thank you. It means a lot to me. You have no idea how much. हाथ जोड़ के thank you. मतलब it really pays me for all the efforts. Thank you. I just need your appreciation. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, guys. I'm just going to have dinner. Feeling a little hungry. आप भी खा लेना, okay? We are going to meet again. Tomorrow we have got decision making. उसमें फिर insights लेके आऊंगी. बहुत ही अच्छे-अच्छे questions करेंगे. VALR का फिर session आएगा.